everyone, BelleAim here, and today I wanted to share a very special day with you because I got to see an early press release screening of Detective Pikachu. I've been looking forward to seeing this, so getting the chance to watch it even earlier than I expected was such an amazing treat, and I am so thankful. So I thought it'd be fun to bring you guys along with me. I started out my crazy travel day bright and early at 3 a.m. I was so ready to take a nap on the train. I brought my little buddy cat Pacino so I wouldn't have to travel alone, so expect to see a lot of pictures of him. It was much easier and more comfortable to have him in the pictures than just having a bunch of selfies. The train ride was pleasant and I slept as much as possible so I'd be ready to fully enjoy and absorb the movie later on. It was really relaxing approaching New York City in the early morning, seeing the sun start to warm the city. In New York now, don't know if you can hear me because it's very loud, but I'm walking towards the theater because I got invited to see Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I'm so excited and I'm trying not to trip, but it's very busy and loud. And here, let's see if I can turn this around. Nothing too crazy. I am gonna go by Times Square later, so I'll show you guys that. Anyway, I'm gonna pay attention to where I'm walking now. See you in a minute. I arrived at the Time Warner building right on time, and I was even the very first person in the theater. I did, however, run into Derrick from Game Explain. So we just got out of the Pokemon movie, and Derrick was there as well. So we're not going to talk about spoilers here. We can just say like how we feel, because we maybe do like a spoiler discussion later. That could be fun.
Maybe, yeah. I'm doing a review, of course, for Game Explain. But, as far as that, like,
but
go see
overall,
this movie.
Overall, it was really good. I enjoyed it. I think kids would like it. I think adults would like it. If you like Pokemon at all, you'll love it. Even if you don't understand Pokemon that much, it's new to you.
If you know the basic gist of Pokemon,
yeah, if you know the basic idea of it, you'll still have fun with it because it's got like a fully complete plot. It doesn't leave you in the dark of anything. So
it's
and there's lots of surprises. I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah,
so that was really cool.
Like I think this is something like a mystery that kids will have to piece together, but adults, there's even some surprises there.
Yeah.
We didn't like. It took me a little bit to pick up on, and there was one that really caught me off guard.
There was a couple. I would say there was 3 twisty moments for me that I was just like, what?
And it was genuinely funny throughout pretty much the entire thing.
And he's played Detective Pikachu the game before, and he said even it was its own thing. It wasn't copying that completely.
Yeah,
so.
There's definitely some elements pulled from there, but for the most part, it's kind of its own thing. So that's cool.
So right now we're gonna walk around New York because we have a little bit of time before we got trains to catch and all that. But we wanted to give our quick thoughts fresh out of the theater because we just finished seeing it. So wanted to give our first thoughts. And I don't remember if I showed you guys, but I made these earrings to wear, and I wore my Pikachu shirt.
Available on Etsy.
Not the shirt.
Well, not the shirt, but the earrings.
Yeah. So thank you. Anyway, so I'll probably take some video around here and show you guys. Here, I'll show you this. This is pretty cool. For those of you who have been to New York, I'm sure you know what this is. But I'll take some.
Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway. I'll take some pictures and some video and show you guys that. So thanks, and thank you, Derrick, for joining for a quick minute to give your thoughts.
No problem.
So,
bye.
Okay, so Derrick, now that we aren't in the middle of New York City with all the cars blasting around us, I thought it would be a cool time to talk about Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, it's a little less hub and bub going on. So, yeah, New York's a little bit crazy, a little bit hard to give coherent thoughts.
Yeah,
and
especially while
the movie
walking.
is out now. Yeah, that too.
The movie is out, and this is completely going to be a spoiler discussion. So if you do not want spoilers to this movie, go ahead and stop the video now, and then come back whenever you see Detective Pikachu.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
Yep, that was your spoiler warning, everybody.
Yeah. In big flashing lights, spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Because I haven't talked spoilers yet, so this will be a good opportunity to give my thoughts on aspects that people might not have gotten from my review or discussion with John and Andre.
Yes, everybody go check the description down below. I will link to Game Explain's discussion of that, which is spoiler free, by the way.
So yeah, what'd you think?
So my overall reaction, I have like 5 major things that I came away with this movie of that I just have in my mind, which number 1, Mewtwo is awesome. Number 2, love Bulbasaur. Number 3, it was more funny than I thought, but also darker than I was expecting. And it was really cool to see all the Pokemon fully realized in a real world setting. And the last sour note I have is I did not feel much chemistry between the 2 main characters, Tim and Lucy.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your main takeaway after watching it?
I mean, the main takeaway is, above everything else, the world that they created is so good. That's what I'm seeing from a lot of people, too. The way the Rhyme City was realized and the Pokemon themselves were realized just feels very true to the games, very authentic, and is probably the best part of the movie. You'll get carried into it just so easily because of that if you have any kind of affinity for Pokemon. I've yet to see somebody who's not really into Pokemon react to this, well, other than critics. So I guess there you go there. But
I agree though. Like, actually, one of my notes as we were watching the movie like live is that the reveal of Rhyme City was amazing. It was like one of those Diagon Alley reveals and pulling back the curtain. It was just one of those magical, oh my gosh, look at it all in its glory, this is amazing. It kind of actually made me think of the Zootopia reveal whenever she gets off the train and she arrives and looks all around.
It's very much like that. Yeah, this movie is very much like a combination of Zootopia and Who Framed Roger Rabbit and those type of kids detective movies. And I don't think it's quite to the quality of either of those two, but I still think it's very enjoyable.
I haven't seen Roger Rabbit, so I can't comment on that. That was pretty dark too, to be honest. So
it had its dark moments, and I don't mind a little bit of darkness. I remember dark moments from my own childhood with movies and enjoying those and kind of getting into it. It's like, oh, I feel a little adult seeing this, and that sort of thing, So I think kids enjoy those darker moments. Not all of them, but a decent amount. But I think it was good to have that little bit of darkness. Like, it starts pretty intensely with Mewtwo's escape and him attacking Tim's father's car.
Yeah, and you immediately think he is bad, like he is causing havoc and is not a good guy. They had me totally fooled, and I haven't seen any actual Pokemon movies before this. I've seen clips of them, but I haven't seen any full, and you have, right?
Yeah, I've seen about 4 or 5 of them, but...
And you also played the full game of Detective Pikachu.
Yes, the storyline matches up in certain areas. Other areas, it's very different.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's they truncated it and honestly made it a better story. This is a better story than the game had.
Oh, that's cool.
The ending is still the same though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the ending was cool. I really liked that twist. I was not expecting Ryan Reynolds to be the dad. That was great. That was an honest surprise for me.
I had a feeling they might go that route because, again, the game indicated as much at the end of Detective Pikachu. Although, ironically, the game has him stay as Detective Pikachu for now, while the movie has a little bit more finality to it and separates them, which I was actually very surprised about because I know they want to make a sequel to this. So how do you do that?
I guess Dad's got to almost die again. Every movie, Dad almost dies.
Again, Pikachu? Really?
Yeah, so I just want to go through my notes basically that I wrote down while watching the movie. I thought that the intro was really cute, by the way, with that little Pokeball does the little, that little tilt thingy. I don't even know what to call that shake.
Oh, the shake.
So
the
cute.
Pokeball shake. Yeah.
That was so cool. I love that. And then we already talked about Mewtwo just starting out the film just amazingly. And I appreciate Mewtwo so much more after this movie. I used to think he was just some creepy failed experiment thing. I didn't really know anything about him, but after this, I'm like, yeah, I want to play him and Smash again. I need more Mewtwo.
Yeah.
But also the music. The music was a lot of fun for Pokemon fans.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool callbacks, and the music really did work in a lot of different scenarios. Like, it was very, it just fit the attitude.
Mm-hmm. And whenever the Pokeball came on screen, did you kind of geek out a little bit? Because I did. And I was like, I want one of those.
Yeah, I mean, well, the whole Cubone sequence where he's trying to catch it. It's like, oh, okay, tall grass. You got the Cubone there, which is actually even more significant because, Cubone's whole thing is it lost its mother. Well, guess what? That's what happened to Tim. So even more of a perfect Pokemon for him.
Yes. The second time I watched that, I picked up on it immediately because Jack, his friend, was like, he's perfect for you. And I didn't quite understand why, other than the loner part that was mentioned in the film. Mm-hmm. But now it makes even more sense. It's got an extra layer on top of it. And Jack, I thought, was funny. I liked the interactions with Jack, his friend, even though he's only there for a few minutes.
Yeah, he's not there at all, hardly at all. But yeah, he's a fun little character. I mean, it was so cool to see the actual Pokeballs. I like how they showed why Pokemon escaping destroys the ball because, well, it literally destroys the ball when they burst out.
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah, it was a fun sequence to show the basics of catching in this world.
Yeah, I agree. It was fun, even though there's no more catching because Rhyme City, there is no catching.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next note I wrote down probably is going to be controversial because I did not enjoy the lick-a-tongue scene. It made me very uncomfortable.
I mean, I think it's supposed to, but it also it communicates that they are like pets in some ways, and some people let their pets roam around and get into trouble, and in Lick-a-Tongue's case, well, he's gonna lick you.
I guess Lick-a-Tongue in himself was adorable, but the moment that the slime spit went inside of Tim's mouth, I was like, I am done. This is disgusting.
Yeah. I laughed.
I could not. I think I'm too empathetic because I put myself in that situation. And if somebody's pet's slobber was in my mouth, I would not have reacted as calmly as Tim did. I would have been freaking out and standing up whose pet is this? But yeah, but the theater thought it was funny, so it must have been a good one. But and I love how many details there were. You pointed out when we were watching it that the apartment had oak on it, which I didn't even see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the oak on the outside. There was, I mean, just all the background elements. They had specific Pokemon mentioned, or I saw the color scheme of Togepi at one point.
Yes.
I watched somebody else's review where they mentioned something that I completely missed, where a car was just in the colors and design of a Viper, which a Viper never appears, but it makes sense when people have cheetah print stuff. Why not Pokemon print stuff? For this world. So it's again, the world building details for Detective Pikachu is its best quality by far.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because you can definitely imagine, you can put yourself in that situation, saying, "Whoa, this is what it would be like if Pokemon were here." It's very easy to immerse yourself into that world. Mm-hmm. They put so much love and care into it too. You can tell that they really researched what Pokemon are and what the world would be like. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes me think of whenever Monsters Inc., some of the chairs would have a tail cut out in it.
Yeah, it's
they went to that level of details. Yeah, which is awesome. And did you catch the Home Alone reference with the video?
Oh, of course. Of course.
So great.
It was random but really fun.
Mm-hmm. And they had those moments that are great for the adults and the younger audience, which I thought was a good idea. Mm-hmm. And then, so my other controversial topic here is I did not like Mr. Mime at all.
You're so wrong.
And everybody loves Mr. Mime. I don't know why I don't love him. I can't even explain it. He makes me uncomfortable somehow. I don't know. Maybe I have some weird trauma with a mime in my past, but I didn't like him.
I think he's supposed to be uncomfortable. I think that's the thing. But when you're not uncomfortable, you can't laugh at that sort of thing. Other people kind of can, so that might explain it. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I love how there was so much more here than what was in the trailer. So I thought we had probably seen everything. But
I was worried about that.
I love how crazy it got, like Tim getting into the head of the Mr. Mime by, miming things as well. And then I loved how dark it got because he's miming pouring gasoline on the Mr. Mime.
I know, and then at the end he drops the match.
Exactly. You don't even see that. Like
that part actually I did laugh at.
Well, of course, that's the mime dying at that point. So of course you laugh, you sicko.
No, I don't. Okay, maybe it's sicko, but I don't know.
Either way,
thought that was funny.
It's a really funny scene. Another strangely dark turn that I thought was pretty great was when the Apom were attacking, and Pikachu's first thought was, "Here, have a knife."
Oh yes, that was so great. He's like, "Nope, knife, no knife. That was a bad plan." Okay, moving on. That was so fun. It's even funnier the second time I watched it. Actually, that was such a great time.
Really good.
Yeah, that is so funny. Yeah, those Apoms were kind of scary.
Oh yeah, I mean they were kind of supposed to be, but because they could be cute and then get the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I like how they made an effort to make every Pokemon, they did look cute at some point, or at least you liked them, because even Charizard throughout the trailers had been built up as this big bad Pokemon that's about to eat Pikachu, and I love how he has this sort of cute moment when the Gyarados shows up and he's like,
yes,
he's
like that little puppy whine.
Exactly, the puppy eyes. I'm like, oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, I know. It reminds you, oh, this is the cute little Charmander after all. Yeah, the trailers, I felt like I was really concerned that the trailers were going to give away too much, and I was a little bit disappointed that the trailers were showing parts from basically the entire movie, but luckily not enough to give away major things. Like you said earlier with the Mr. Mime bit, they didn't show the entire interaction, which is really good. I'm glad about that. And they didn't show the entire interaction with the Bulbasaur, so they did leave some of it as a surprise, but I think now, actually, I'm just realizing that might be one reason why I didn't like the Mr. Mime scene as much, because I had seen it so many times in the trailers and replayed on Twitter, so it might have just been kind of old hat at that point.
That's very possible.
Kind of like the, like in Zootopia, the sloth section, that part was played so many times that by the time it was in the movie, I was just like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I've seen this, I want to see something new.
So maybe that's partly why I wasn't the biggest fan, because I didn't hate it, it just felt like it dragged to me, that part.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and the other part that was a little bit confusing to me is why were the Torterra just sitting there for who knows how long, and then whenever Psyduck has that blast, they get up. I don't get that part.
I mean, I guess the indication with the giant Torterra is that, with the Torterra, the smaller Torterra that you see, it's like, well, they're just sort of, that's what they do. They don't really move around much. They're turtles. So I guess that's the idea, but it's also, how the heck did they hide these things?
I know, anytime they would move, they should cause some massive earthquake, as we saw. I don't know, that part threw me off. That part and the, magical fix-all part at the end were the two things that I was like, okay, I'm a little bit out of the movie right now.
See, I thought you were going to mention the tiny rock of critical hits that hits Pikachu during the Torterra sequence. And it's because that looked a little off. That's the thing I mentioned in my review. You barely see it. It doesn't seem like the hit does not seem that bad. And then all of a sudden Pikachu's dying. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that part threw me off. I blinked and I missed it because I was looking around like, wait, what? Is he almost dead? What happened?
Yeah.
It's too, they needed to play that out more. They needed to show it. They needed to have slow motion. I don't know. They needed to do something to draw attention that this was a major bad hit and that he's in trouble, because all of a sudden he's being placed down on a rock. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to show it from Lucy's perspective where she's like, all right, we're all here. Oh, wait, what's wrong with your Pikachu? I don't know. That part felt very forced to me. That whole Pikachu's about to die, we need to go cure him.
Yeah, it works thematically, especially with how to
plot device.
Yeah, reintroduce Mewtwo, get that done. Plus, without it, we wouldn't get Bulbasaur, and that is by far the cutest scene in the movie.
It is. I love that section. I was so excited whenever the Torterra came up the second time I saw it, because I knew that the cute Bulbasaur were coming. And their little noises are adorable, and they don't hop around like frogs. It's so great.
Yeah, it's a very cool sequence. Really like shows the magic of Pokemon there.
Yeah,
just really great stuff. And then you get the little bit of a swerve because basically as soon as he showed up, I thought the father, the founder of Rhyme City, was the bad guy. And then it's like no, they're pointing it too much at the son. It has to be the father. And then the son shows up during this whole sequence where they catch Mewtwo. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, maybe I guess they're working together.
Yeah, that part was genuine. I loved that part of it because I had a couple red herrings get me. Like, I thought that the dad's partner, the human partner, was going to be involved somehow. I thought it was going to be the main guy, which I can't, Clifford or whatever. That guy, Howard. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought it was going to be any one of those three. And then whenever the main guy brought them in and showed them that holographic thing, that's when I was like, oh, okay, he's cool, he's good. So they got me on that one because I was convinced it was the son at that point. And then when I saw him with Mewtwo, I was like, it is him. It is.
Yeah, but, I wasn't when he was showing the holographic thing. I was like, it's still probably the father. But then when he showed up to capture Mewtwo, I was like, okay, that's Yeah, and on second viewing,
it's really interesting to watch that because you notice all the sunglasses, you notice all these little camera nods to Ditto, which was freaky.
That freaking Ditto, which that's probably one of my other favorite parts of the movie because it is so well planted. Yes. It has that little nod in the background that's not brought much attention to at all. It's just a Ditto,
but it's there
transforming into a human in order to push the father. And it's not. He doesn't transform into the lady. He doesn't transform into anything else. It's just a guy. So you don't think about it. Mm-hmm. It's just like, okay, that's just how a Ditto can do. That's something. And then the Ditto shows up as the lady, and you see there was the sun, it took place to the sun and all that. It's like, that's cool. That was really well done. And this Ditto is OP because being able to transform into other Pokemon without it being there, holy crap.
You know what I just realized? Why didn't Ditto turn into Mewtwo?
Hard to say.
Maybe he can't turn into a genetically created creature. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Ditto should be able to.
I don't know, but that Ditto was crazy.
Yeah, maybe he hadn't seen. I don't know. Who knows? But the fun little
Ditto Lucy. Oh my god.
Oh gosh, all the eyes. Jeez.
Yeah. That was terrifying.
Yeah, it was appropriate, but it was still.
The whole theater was like.
Yeah, there was something else, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun moment to have, and it gave Tim something to do at the end. Because I gotta say, the fight between Pikachu and Mewtwo at the end was a lot of fun too.
That was a lot of fun. That was good. They did a good job with that. Mewtwo's so cool.
Now you're finally learning this. That's something
I know.
Like, as soon as I saw him as a kid in the first original game, I was like, well, this is a cool design, and holy crap, he's powerful. Like, he was so hard to catch that it was just like, oh man, I want this guy on my side.
Yeah, I just always thought he was some weird experiment that was kind of failed, and he was always moody and ticked off, so I never really grew an affinity for him. I loved Mew because it looked like a little kitty. But then Mewtwo always seemed like he was so ticked off at the world. So I was like,
he kind of
just leave him alone. But in this movie, it didn't feel that way. So
I mean, he says that he doesn't trust humans except for, a few. But most of humans he doesn't.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But he, helped all the humans in that city. So
exactly.
He wasn't just some moody dude that's going to run off and isolate.
Yeah, it's not like, bye.
Yeah. So I was hoping I could segue earlier, but I missed it because of the Mewtwo thing. But as far as the chemistry between Tim and Lucy, did you feel anything there? Because I did not at all. Like, it kept throwing me off every time Tim was like, the girl that I'm attracted to. I was like, what? Where did that come from? Like, I didn't feel anything there at all.
I got a sense of attraction, but I didn't get a sense of any kind of romance. It was just like, well, this girl's cute.
I guess. I felt like...
That's the best I got. I mean, it's supposed to be more like friends, but...
Which I'm cool with. Like, that part's great. But then they would throw in those comments that made it sound like they were trying to push it to be slightly romantic. And I was like, why are you trying to force it to be romantic when it's like just friends level right now? I don't know. But I did really like Lucy and Psyduck and Pikachu. That was fun.
Yeah, the Psyduck and Pikachu was wonderful. I love Psyduck, like his reaction to finding out that Tim can understand Pikachu, like just the eyes going wide. I liked how Psyduck was using it all to his advantage so he could have like a foot rub. Like those are great characterization moments, despite the fact that we can't understand Psyduck, but we get Psyduck's personality.
I know, they did such a good job with that. And Psyduck ended up being so cute. That was fun.
It was really great. So yeah, I mean, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but it's a lot of fun, especially for Pokemon fans.
Yeah, I think if you have any sort of affinity towards Pokemon, like you said earlier, I think it's going to be an enjoyable ride. A nice journey. Yeah. So the last note I have, which is appropriate, is I thought that the end credits were really fun and a really great ending to the movie for Pokemon fans.
Oh, yeah, because the creator, I believe Kensuke Mori was his name, was there, to approve on a lot of the designs and things like that for the Pokemon. So having him draw all the actors in his style was pretty great. I know, so cool, and I really want one now. Nice. Yeah. So, any closing words on it? Now that like I said, I liked it a lot, and I'm glad it's doing pretty well, despite the fact that Endgame overtakes all. It's just that's what's going to happen. It's just Endgames everywhere. But yeah, but it still held its own, and I enjoyed the movie, and I'm curious to see what they do next. Yeah, me too. I'm curious to see how they will continue. Like, is it just going to be Detective Pikachu? Are they going to branch out and do realistic movies for actual Pokemon? It's hard to say, but it's exciting to see since it did pretty well, I would say. I think this is a success. Sounds like it. And I also think that this is one of the best video game to movies that we have. Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the best adaptations out there. Probably the best, but I don't want to, it's hard to say that definitively because I haven't seen them all, but... Oh, yeah, me either. I haven't even seen the Mario Brothers one. You're not missing anything. I know, but I hear that's one that's so bad that it's kind of good. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's easy to sit back and make fun of. That's for sure. Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much for talking with me about it. It was a blast, and I'm glad we got to see the early screening. That was pretty great. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining, and thank you guys for watching. So please leave us a like if you enjoyed this, and a subscribe would really help us out too. And you can also find Derrick over on Game Explain, which again, I will link down below in the description. See you guys next time. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.